Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, I'm Pamela Mariloisa Kisongan. Together with my co-members, we will be reporting human agency in geomorphology. So first, let us discuss what is human agency. So human agency, according to Lipponer and Verlan, it is described as a conceptualization of human activity. Basically, human agency is the ability of individuals to act independently and control their own actions rather than being controlled by external forces. So it is important when understanding how humans impact the environment. We also have geomorphology. So geomorphology is a study of landforms and landform evolution. So it is basically the evolution of landforms. So human agency in geomorphology is the refers to the role of the impact of human activities to the Earth's surface or Earth surface processes or landforms. So there are two types of human agency: the direct modification and indirect modification or influence. So direct modification refers to the intentional physical alteration to the Earth's surface, resulting it into immediate changes to geomorphological processes. So one of the example of this is the deforestation. So this is basically the intention or physical alteration. It is the intention to change the Earth's surface. So it is a direct modification, physical alteration to the Earth's surface. So we as a human uh, intended to change our the physical alteration of Earth's surface. We also have indirect modification. So indirect modification refers to the unintended or secondary effect of human activities of geomorphological processes. So the best example for this is the climate change. So like for example, greenhouse gases emissions after global temperatures influencing weather patterns, sea levels, and ice caps. So it is a secondary effects of human activities. So climate change, it is unintended. Wala na to siya gituyo, but it is also an effect or secondary effect of our actions or our activities as a humans. So like for example, the climate change. And now for our objectives. The first objective is to discuss the different ways that humans have modified landforms, particularly excavation for mining activities. So, and we also have the second objective, to discuss the incidental consequences of human modification of the Earth's geomorphology, in particular accelerated erosion, sedimentation, ground subsidence, triggering of mass movements, and coastal erosion and deposition. But let us first discuss our first objective, which is to discuss the different ways that humans have modified landforms, particularly in excavation for mining activities. So, yeah, let's proceed. So we all know that the human agency is about individuals to act independently and control our own actions. For it to be in line para ma-okay ay to be for us, for human activities to in line with the environment. So how we act is how we affect our environment. So this concept is also important when understanding how humans impact the environment. Am I right? So such as through mining. So it is mining. So again, what is mining? So mining, it is the extraction of valuable minerals or the other geological materials from the earth. So these materials can include wide range of substances depending on their economic value and demand. So it is extraction of valuable materials. So basically it is the process of extracting valuable minerals from the earth. Mining. So mining is a human activity, right? So inline siya sa human agency. So as it extracts geological materials from earth, it inlines also with the geomorphology. So there are types of mining: the surface mining, underground mining, and placer mining. So let us first discuss surface mining. So surface mining involves removing or overlaying of soil and rock overburden to access the mineral deposit. Common types include open pit mining, or the large holes in the ground, strip mining, removing long strips of earth, and mountain top removal mining, or removing the tops of the mountain. So an example, let me give you a picture of surface mining. So siya ang surface mining. Siya ang surface mining. It is basically the removing of soil and rock to access the mineral deposit. So examples include open pit, di kanang makita nato nga large holes sa ground, and strip mining, kanang pababa siya, and strip mining sa earth, removing of long strip of earth. Tapos naapod tayo mountain top removal mining, or removing the upper part of the earth, of a mountain. So ano siya ang example sa surface mining. So now let's proceed to the underground mining. So underground mining involves excavating tunnels and shafts to reach minerals deposits located beneath the earth's surface. Various techniques are employed depending on the type of deposit or geological conditions. So underground mining basically it is the digging tunnels and shafts to reach the deposit. So deposits deep underground. So it is a process of digging. So mo ano ta sa pinakaubos sa earth surface, or located deep beneath the earth's surface. So yeah, to reach the minerals nga gusto i-dig. So this is an example. This. So it lang. So yeah, it is the process, or it involves digging underground to, so di ara siya open pit, mao na siya ang open pit, like that. So that is an example of underground mining. Again, underground mining involves digging tunnels and shafts to reach out the minerals deep underground. So magdig ta sa pinakalalong beneath sa surface, beneath earth's surface. So now let's proceed also to the last type of mining, the placer mining. So placer mining, this method focuses on extracting minerals from alluvial deposits or sediments deposited by rivers or streams. Techniques include panning, dredging, and sluicing. So Basically, placer mining, this involves extracting minerals from rivers or stream sediments. So this is an example of placer mining. This one. Mahitabo siya sa rivers or rivers and water parts or rivers or stream sediments, like ambot lao naka ano ba mo og kanang sa na anuhan ba na ninyo sa mga rivers, pero sa among alidto like sa Manay na ami like usahay makita na ako na ana-ana sila, like ginakuha nila ang mga sediments sa sa river, and then gina na sila mga technique like panning, dredging, and slicing. So that is a process to extract minerals from rivers. So now let's proceed to the direct impact and indirect impact of mining. So direct impact again is the intentional to intentional physical alteration to Earth's surface. And we also have indirect impact, which is refers to unintended or secondary effects of human activities in geomorphological processes. So the direct impacts of mining is the first direct impact of mining is the landform modification. So landform modification is mining creates large holes, tunnels, and other changes to the landscape. So landform modification, it refers to the modification of lands or modification of landscape. So ang pag-change sa landform through ang direct impact sa mining is, di ba, naga-create man siya, like for example sa surface mining, naga-create siya og holes, tunnels, or other changes to the landscape. So it is a direct impact of so landform modification is a direct impact of mining. We also have erosion. So removing of vegetation exposes soil to erosion, which can lead to sediment runoff and damage to nearby ecosystem. So erosion, di ba pag mag-mine man, the removing of vegetation exposes soil to erosion. So ang pag-remove sa mga vegetation exposed sa soil to erosion. So that's why direct impact gihapon sa mining is erosion. So we also have sedimentation. So sedimentation, like, diba sa mining disrupts natural drainage patterns, leading to increased sedimentation in waterways, harming aquatic life. So ang mining ga-disrupt sa natural drainage pattern. So diba pag magkutkot or pag mag-mine na yung mga drainage pattern na ma-appeal. So that will increase to sedimentation in waterways. So it will harm the aquatic life. So direct impact siya sa mining ang sedimentation. A direct impact of mining is sedimentation. So we also have subsidence. So subsidence, removing underground materials, can cause the ground surface to sink. So damage infrastructure and buildings. So pag mag-remove kag, di ba, sa pag mag sa underground mining, naga-remove ta og materials underground. So if magpadayon ang pagkuha sa mga minerals underground, it can cause the ground surface to sink, so damaging infrastructure and buildings. So it is a direct impact gihapon. So mining ay subsidence. So subsidence is a direct impact of mining. We also have mass movement. So mass movement, di ba, pag mining can destabilize slope, increasing the risk of landslide and rockfalls. So kada mag-mine, naga-destabilize siya sa slope sa earth. So increasing the risk of landslide and rockfalls. So dili na stabilize ang slope sa earth. That's why naga-increase ang risk for landslide and rockfall. So it is a direct impact. So it is because it is intended ang pag-mine sa pag-mine, and nagaka-cause siya landslide and landfalls. That's why it is a direct impact. So that's why it is a direct impact. So mass movements is a direct impact of mining. So we also have now, let's proceed to we also have like the last one, coastal erosion and deposition. So mining activities can alter coastal currents and sediment transport, leading to erosion and deposit of sand. So we also have the activities sa coastal currents and sediment transport. So pag nagsigi og mine sa coastal, it will lead to erosion or deposition of sand. So coastal erosion and deposition, it is a direct impact of mining. We also have indirect impact of mining. So waste disposal, mining can produce a large amount of waste rock and tailings, which can require careful disposal to prevent environmental damage. So kada mag-mine ta naatay ginalabay or waste disposal, mining can produce a large amount of waste rock and tailings, which can require careful disposal dapat to prevent environmental changes. So indirect impact of mining is waste disposal. So we also have water contamination. So mining can contaminate water sources with heavy metals, chemical, and other pollutants. So pag mag-mine, contaminate ang water, such as sa placer mining. So ma-contaminate ang water. So ma-contaminate ang water with heavy metals or chemicals and other pollutants. So it is an indirect impact of mining. Kay second, water contamination. We also have air pollution. Mining activities can release dust, gases, and other pollutants into the air. So when mag-mine gani, nag-release siya og mga gases and other chemicals into the air. So polluted ang atoang air. So it is an indirect impact. So pag mag-mine ta, we extract materials. So we extract materials or minerals. So one of the materials that mining extracted is the metallic minerals. So this include the iron ore, copper, gold, silver, aluminum, and many other used in various industrial application and manufacturing processes. So metallic materials mao na siya ato ang usahay madungog nga ginamine, like mga copper, gold, silver, and many other use in various industrial application and manufacturing processes. And we also have non-metallic materials. This encompasses a broad range of materials such as sand, gravel, limestone, gypsum, and phosphate rock used in construction, agriculture, and other industries. So, ang mga non-metallic materials is ginagamit ni siya used for construction, agriculture, and other industries. Yeah. And we also have the last one, the fossil fuels. So, gina-extract po sa mga nagamine ang fossil fuels. Well, not strictly minerals, coal, oil, and other natural gas are extracted through mining techniques, although the processes often directly significantly from mineral. So, dili ni siya kaayo mahimo or direct ma-process sa ginahimo nga traditional mineral mining. So, it is murag high level of mineral mining ang pagkuha sa fossil fuel. Again, the mining extracts materials such as metallic minerals, non-metallic minerals, and fossil fuels. Metallic minerals includes those we used in industrial application and manufacturing processes, includes iron, copper, gold, silver, and many others. We also have non-metallic materials. We use this in construction, agriculture, and other industries. This encompasses broad range of materials such as sand, gravel, limestone, gypsum, and phosphate rock. So, mga rock ang non-metallic materials. We also have fossil fuels. So, we can extract these materials, or we can extract fossil fuels in a traditional way of mineral mining. So, murag strictly murag high level iyang process of mining. So, speaking of mining, so we also have the mining processes. So, number 1 is exploration. So, when mag-mine ta, dapat mag-explore sa ta. We will identify and assess the potential mineral deposits. So, bago ta mag-mine, we will first identify and assess the potential mineral deposits. So, we also have number 2, the development. So, the development talks about or involves the preparing the mine site for extraction, which may not include construction roads, building, and other infrastructure. So, development, it is when the miners prepare the mine site. So, bago ta mag-extract, gina-prepare sa nato ang mine site, which is na-involve siya sa number 2 ang development. Number 3, the extraction. So, removing the mineral deposit from the earth using appropriate method. So, this process, so diri sa extraction, this method, we will be removing na the mineral that the miners need kanang kung sa ilahang makuha na mineral. So, naga-extract na sila diha as extraction using appropriate methods. So, again, ay mga appropriate methods to extract minerals. So, number 4, processing. So, refining and preparing extracted minerals for use in various application. So, na-extract na nato ang material. So, we will be refining the extracted materials. So, ato na siyang kuan if what use unsa ang use ani na minerals in various applications. So, we also have the mining processes or reclamation, ideally. Restoring the mined land to use usable state or minimizing environmental damage. So ginabuhat ba kaha ni ang reclamation? So it is the restoring the mine land of to usable state para magamit pa ang na mine na land. So it is murag ambot o ginabuhat ba ni or kuan basta ideally reclamation apil na sa some the mining processes. And I hope ginabuhat po ni sa nagamine na ginabalik nila ang land into a usable state. Yeah. Para po ma-minimize pa ang environmental damage or para po minimize pa ang damage for to our environments. So to conclude everything, so mining is a complex activity with significant impact on Earth geomorphology. So understanding this impact is crucial for mitigating the environmental damage and promoting sustainable mining practices. So I hope you learned something, and the rest of the report will be discussed by my co-members. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Daniela Merel Samson, and I am the second reporter about this topic. And now let's going to proceed to the incidental consequences of human modification of Earth's geomorphology, particularly in accelerated sedimentation and ground subsidence. Now, human modification of Earth's geomorphology, such as through urbanization, agriculture, and mining, has led to accelerated sedimentation with various incidental consequences. First is, what is accelerated sedimentation? Sedimentation resulting from the combined action of human activities and natural processes resulting from storms, heavy rains, and high winds at a rate greater than would result through the action of natural processes alone. So, ang accelerated sedimentation has a negative impact, especially sa atong surroundings. For example, kanang magamit og mga other processes in order to kanang padalion ang sedimentation. For example, sa kanang mga construction sites na duol sa mga sapa, possible na makakause siya kanang grabe na pag-ipon og mga sediment sa tubig. And this situation can harm our ecosystem sa tubig kay masakal man ang mga shelter, mga natural lights, and ang mabago ang quality sa water. Aside from it pod, ang paggamit og mga flocculants or any other chemicals can harm the substance of water that can cause the living kanang mga fishes nga napuyo sa mga tubig, maharm sila. Now, when humans change the landscape, like clearing forest or for agriculture or building trees, there are several unintended consequences that can can affect our environment. First, we have the increased erosion. It is when removing vegetation exposes soil to rain and wind, which can wash or blow it away. This leads to more erosion, making the land less stable. So, tria is, if we cut trees or plants daw, is that mawala ang protection sa soil underneath. With that, ang rain or ang hangin can easily wash or blow the exposed soil and tungod pud ani ang soil kay mas less stable siya and ma-prone siya to erosion. For example, sa Amazon rainforest, di ba ginakat dito ang mga trees for agriculture, so it has led to a significant soil erosion. So ang soil dito is vulnerable na siya sa rain, like dali na lang mabaha dito. The second one is the sedimentation in water bodies. It is erosion causes soil and debris to wash into rivers, lakes, and estuaries. This can clog waterways, reduce water quality, and harm aquatic habitats. So kadiri kay ang erosion daw kay washes soil and debris into rivers like lakes or coastal areas. With this, it can block the flow of water. Ginababa ang water quality nga nakakos og kanang ginababa ang water quality that can cause harm to animals and plants na nagalive sa waters, especially nagarely lang man sila sa water. So if wala ang kanang natural quality sa water kay maka-harmful siya sa animals and sa plants. The third one is flooding. So press karon na kanang mga nagbaha na kay it is when kanang ginatabon sa UI kanang ginatabon sa humans ang yuta o kanang mga, for example sa roads, di ba ginasemento man siya. So dili makapasok ang yuta, ay dili makapasok ang ulan sa yuta. Instead, it runs off the surface na maka-cause og more flooding sa mga cities. This is kanang cause kaning gamay ra man gud ang ma-absorb sa water, gamay ra nga soil ang iyang ma-absorb mo na motaas ang tubig. For example sa Luzon, di ba karon nga dagko kay mga tubig, especially sa Manila, dali ra sila mabahaan dito kay ang mga sementado man sila dito. Pero in that mga sementado man ang ilang mga kanang mga dalan dito. Pero in that case di ay kay it can led to increased flooding pag mag-ulan kay daghan man yuta ang natabunan og mga semento wherein mo ito dili maka-absorb og soil ang water nga maka-cause og namotaas ang tubig. The fourth one is the altered water flow. Human activities can change the natural flow of rivers and streams. Dams, for example, can block sediment movements, which affects ecosystems downstream. So, main cause dyan is ang through human activities kay mabag-o niya ang natural flow sa water sa river. Halimbawa ka ng mga dam, kay kaya nila i-stop ang movement sa sediment and makakause siya changes sa mga homes, sa mga fish o kanang mga animals, mga plants nga nag-rely lang sa sediment para mabuhi. The last one is the loss of habitat, kanang mawadag kanang mga puy-anan. For example, diriya is kanang when people kanang change the natural habitat, kanang mag-build sila mga cities or kanang gina-clear nila ang forest kay magkuha sila kahoy para makakuan sila for agriculture. It can destroy the homes of plants and animals when ang ilahang natural habitat kay mawala, so they will suffer and it is difficult for them to live and thrive sa mga plants and animals. This loss of different species can lead to problems in the environment that can last long time. Overall, while accelerated sedimentation can help other processes and can give other benefits, it can also possibly harm our natural system na magdulot og long issues in our surroundings. Now let's proceed to the ground subsidence. It is the gradual sinking of Earth's surface due to a variety of causes, frequently linked to human activities, of course. Mao ni ang kanang pagbaba or paglubog sa mga yuta in some certain areas. So we also have incidental consequences of human modification of Earth's geomorphology, particularly in ground subsidence. Also, we have 5 incidental consequences. First, we have the urban development. The construction of buildings and infrastructure can lead to ground sinking as water is extracted from the soil. So, when people build roads and buildings, di ba, one important factor man jud ana nga gamiton is water from the ground. So if too much water daw ang makuha, then there's a possibility that ang soil kay mag-start to sink kay wala na siya mag-sink siya kay wala na siya enough water to keep it stable. For example, sa Mexico, there is a rapid urban development and over-extraction of groundwater that have a significant cost sa ground subsidence. So, kung magkadaghan pod ang population, magkadako sab ang demand sa water, especially for personal use and daily use, kanang maligo, maglaba, maghugas, leading to extensive pumping of aquifers in the city. So ang excessive water removal kay nagaresult siya og ground sinking by as much as 10 meters in some areas. The second one is the extraction of natural resources. It is removing oil, gas, or minerals can create empty spaces underground, causing the wind above above to collapse. So when we take out um, oil, gas, or minerals from the ground, syempre, dako ang space, dako nag-space sa ilalom katong gikuhaan o kanang mga minerals. So kung daghan ang makuha, kay naay possibility na makakos na mulubog ang or mubagsak ang yuta kay siya, wala naman siya wala na kanang support system nga naga-keep ana nga maging stable. So wala na siya support system, so mabagsak yun ang kuana na yuta. For example, kanang sa Mindanao kanang magkuha sila kanang mga gold sa ilalim sa yuta, mga pearls na. When they are going to continue to do mining, naay mga yuta nga gikan sa taas na mubagsak siya, and syempre delikado jud siya sa mga kalsada, mga balay, ug especially sa kanang mga tao nga naga-mine. And syempre sila man ang matabunan ana. And the third one is the groundwater depletion. Overuse of groundwater can lead to ground sinking because less water is available to support the soil. So, using too much groundwater pod can cause the ground to sink. Parehara siya parehara siya anang katong gi-discuss na gaina. If masobrahan kay mag-sink ang ground because there's no enough water nga nabilin to keep the soil stable. The fourth one is the drainage of wetlands. Draining wetlands for development can cause the land to sink, increasing flood risk and harming local ecosystems. Diri is kanang draining wetland para magtayo og kanang mga balay, mga roads kay makakos pod og ground sinking. When this happens, areas becomes more prone sa pagbaha or flooding, including pud sa kanang mga natural habitats para sa mga plants and animals. Ma-destroy ang ilahang local ecosystems and it can cause a loss of habitats. The fifth one is the increased flood risk. Sinking land can lead to a higher likelihood of flooding in areas that were previously elevated. When mag-sink na daw ang ground, na mga places na kanang naa sa taas kay naay possibilities na mabahaan. This is because na lower na ang land and it can't hold as much water. Wala na kanang enough water. So mo nang mabahaan na siya during heavy rains. In the Philippines, there are several areas that were previously elevated and now more prone na siya sa flooding, including ang Marikina City, Quezon City, Pasig City, Cebu City. So sa Cebu City, 'di ba, elevated parts of Cebu have also faced flooding risks, particularly with urban expansion and infrastructure development. These areas illustrates how changes in the environment and urbanization can lead to unexpected flooding challenges. So all of these incidental consequences kay murag effect lang yun siya sa human activities. So kita human ang naga-control kung unsaon nato pag-handle ang atong surroundings in order to maintain the quality of our natural habitat. Thank you.
My topic for today is all about accelerated mass movement and accelerated coastal erosion. So, what is accelerated mass movement? Accelerated mass movement, based on the PowerPoint presentation, it's a rapid movement of rock, soil, or debris down a slope. It is often caused by gravity, water, oil, or other external factors. This can include landslide, rockfalls, mudslides, and other types of mass wasting events. So later on, we will talk about the types of accelerated movements. As what I've said earlier, it is the landslide, rockfalls, mudslides, the debris flow, and the creep. So the accelerated mass movement is often resulting in the damaging of infrastructures, environment, and also humans. So there are 5 types of accelerated movement. If we talk about accelerated, it is happening faster than normal. So the first type of accelerated movement is the landslide. I know that you know what is landslide, but the landslide is a movement of rock, soil, or debris down a slope. It is because of human activities such as deforestation, mining, mao na magka-landslide ang isa ka lugar. And also, it is because of heavy rainfall or flooding. So, mao na guys, magtanom gyud ta og trees or mga kahoy para ma-prevent ang landslide. And the second one is the rocks or the rock fall. Rock fall or a free falling of rocks from a cliff or a slope. They can occur suddenly without any warning, and it can also impose a significant risk to the people and to the infrastructure. Syempre, mga hulog ang mga bato. So, sa isa ka lugar, for example, na ako sa isa ka lugar and then nikalit lang og something like mulinog. So, naay tendency nga pag naa ka sa isa ka lugar nga kanang rocky kaayo siya or kanang high kaayo siya nga rocky, for example kanang badas, and then kalit lang naa ka dira ang area and then kalit lang mo linog, dako ay kanang very rapid kaayo nga linog. So dili nimo siya mabantayan nga nahulog na di itong mga dagko kaayo nga mga rocks, and that can cause significant risk to the people, so madauban or not just people but also to the infrastructures. The third one is the mudslides, or also known as a mud flows. It is a natural disaster and it is deadly and destructive. According to the PowerPoint, it is a rapid down of mud and the water down a slope. Or ang example ani is kanang lahar. And the third one is the debris flow. It is a fast moving mixtures of water and sediment. Unsay kalahian sa mudslide ug ang debris flow? Ang mudslide, it is a combination of mud or kanang lapok ug water. And a debris, it is a mixture of water and sediment. What is sediment? It is a solid particles that solid siya ng mga particle or object that is deposited in a liquid kanang grabe kay siya kalapok nga naa siya ability to carry large objects such as trees, boulders or vehicles para maipababa niya. So pag normal lang nga flood kanang ang madala lang niya is katong mga light object lang, but the debris flow, it has the ability to carry large object. And the last one is the creep, or a slow gradual movement of soil down a slope. The creep is factors niya or ang cause niya is soil instability, foundation damage, and it can also increase landslide risk. So isa sa mga example ay kanang mga effect ay kanang mga cause ana is kanang mga mura gihapon sa na mention ako earlier nga mga types of accelerated movement is katong mga deforestation, mining, cutting of trees, so that that can cause landslide, rockfalls, mudslides, debris flow, and also creep. Next is the accelerated coastal erosion. Coastal erosion is a rapid loss of coastline due to the increased rates of erosion and is often caused of human activities and climate change. So there are consequences of coastal erosion. If we talk about coastal erosion, it is a removal of land, rocks or beaches along the coastline due to the natural falls. The first one is the saltwater intrusion into freshwater sources. Syempre, if the coastal erosion occurs, the saltwater from ocean, seas, or brackish sources mag-enter siya into freshwater sources such as rivers, lakes, groundwater. So, makontaminate yun ang water ana. And then, one of the cause sa saltwater water intrusion into freshwater sources is because of the rising of the sea level and also the climate change. Later on, we will talk about more of that. And the second one is the increased risk of flooding and storm damage. In flooding, mag-overflow ang water sa lupa. It can cause damage and also the disruption. In storm damage, it can the harm of it can cause is caused by the strong winds, heavy rainfall, and heavy surges. So if the coastal area is becoming more vulnerable to flooding, storm, it can damage and damage from intense storms due to the weaving away of the coastline. It is because of the sea level rise that that increase the storm intensity, and it may it may affect the property, the damaging of property, and also harm our environment. The next one is the loss of recreation and tourism opportunities. So syempre, if na ay coastal erosion, it can lead to beach loss and reduced access. In tourism, like for example, example na to ng mga tourist spot diri sa mating nga mga beaches. If one of those beach kay because of human activity, ikuan siya, erosion siya. So it can decrease the visitors numbers and economic losses and losses of the local businesses, and mag-cause po siya negative impact on local economy. And recreational impact, syempre, pag for example kanang ma-decrease na ang visitors number, so naay mga ang kana nga beach pod is maglimit na pod na siya og access sa mga sa beach, like mga water activities such as surfing, swimming. So ilimit na gyud na nila to the because of they protect the safety of each people, and also it can decrease fisheries and marine resources. So if the coastal erosion occur, syempre na agid impact ana sa pangisda and sa atong marine resources. It can also reduce access to fishing grounds and decrease fishing stocks and catches. So sa mga mangisda, naagi for example, kanang isa ka beach dira is one of the site kanang ginapangisdaan, unya kay na erosion naman siya, nagka coastal erosion naman siya. So ma-reduce ang access sa mga fisherman dira ang particular nga lugar, and makaadto bitaw sila pero gamay na lang ang ilang makuha because of ma-decrease na tungod sa coastal erosion, and also magka-cause po na siya og loss of coral reefs and marine habitat. But sa ato nga mga tao, we need to take good care of our coral reefs and marine habitat. It's because mao lang na siya ang rich, mao na siya ang kayamanan sa atong kadagatan. And then last one is the cultural and historical site destruction, or it is a loss of degradation of cultural, historical, or archaeological sites, structures, artifacts due to the coastal erosion, and it can also threaten the heritage and identity. For example, there are lots of known na sa UNESCO World Heritage. For example, kanang naa sa Boracay, or kanang mga cultural or historical site dira ang pag mag coastal erosion. So ma-damage gyud na siya if ever man lang because of human activities. There are types of accelerated coastal erosion. One is the natural cause, the second one is the climate change, the other cause, the human cause, and also the regional specific cause. There are types of accelerated coastal erosion. The first is the natural causes. The first natural causes of accelerated coastal erosion is the storm-induced erosion, or for example, the hurricanes and the typhoons. Storm-induced erosion is the weaving away or removal of land, especially coastline, because of strong winds, waves, and flooding from hurricanes, typhoons, or other intense storms. The second one is the sea level rise erosion, or the rising of sea level that caused erosion. It is a coastline sea damage because of the increasing of sea level. So it is understandable naman na pag there is a sea level rise, so it can create coastline sea damage or erosion. The third one is the tidal erosion. For example, the king tides and the spring tides. The tidal erosion is the weaving away of coastline or land by the powerful and repetitive action of high tides. The example here is the king tides. The king tides is a extremely high tide, often causing flood and erosion. Pinakataas siya nga erosion nga nagakause siya og baha. And then the spring tides is higher. It is higher often. It is higher than normal tides, and it kanang kuan lang siya during full moon or the new moon phases. The fourth one is the wave driven erosion. So if there is a wave action, kanang grab ay kanang the erosion that is caused by the wave, the coastline damage because of strong waves. So example, kung naay coastline kanang naay wave nga dagko kaayo, so it can cause a damage to the coastline. And then kanang dito siya kasagaran sa mga surfing zone. And then the fifth one is the current induced erosion, or the longshore currents and the rip currents. It is the constant flow of water. If we talk about longshore currents, along the shore lang siya, and it carry sediments, nag-carry siya og sediments away. And then if the rip comments, it is a powerful and it is a narrow channel of water flowing out of the sea. And the next one is the coastal landslide. So from the word landslide, it is a coastal slope failure or collapse. It is often caused by erosion, kanang kusog kaayo nga ulan and or instability. And then naapod siya kanang rock falls. Example is a rock falls, kanang mga landslide ang mga bato. And the seventh one is the tsunami induced erosion. So murag diri sa ato, I don't think if nakadungog na ko na ay tsunami diri sa ato, but if there is a tsunami, so expected na gyud na there is a coastal damage and a land loss by a powerful tsunami waves. So if ever na ay tsunami nga moabot, so syempre madamage gud niya ang coastal or ang atong ay for example sa beach, madamage gud niya ang beauty or the land na naa sa beach. Let's move on to the human-induced causes. The first human activity is the coastal development erosion. For example, naga-build sila og seawall or sand mining sila. So, because of it, it can disrupt the natural sediment transport, and it can also cause a loss of land and habitat nga mao na siya makadamage because of human activities such as mag-build sila seawall. So, di ba pag mag-build tag seawall kay katkaton man yun na, tapos mag-sand mining kay kaluton man yun na, no? So, it can cause a coastal damage. The next one is the dredging and sand mining erosion. So, it can cause a coastal damage from the sediment removal, for example, for navigation, construction, or other uses. So, syempre, pag mag-mining ka na naagid na gamitan, kung sabay gamitan ana, so it can cause a coastal damage. And the third one is the port harbor construction erosion. So for example, kana mga mananagat, nagabuild sila og port na ay kanang for example new port or kanang ilahang renovate ang ilang port. So it can cause a coastal damage because of building or expanding their ports or harbors. So damage gid ang atong kanana coast ay syempre pag ang pinaka kuan man gid na is kanang katkaton nila ang atong coastal, and then mag-build sila og new infrastructure unya. There is a possibility nga magdako ang waves or kanang for example pag muulan, so grabe ang iyahang impact. And the fourth one is the coastal engineering structure, such as kanang na I have already mentioned it earlier. It is a such as seawalls, mag-construct sila seawalls, breakwaters, kanang mag-construct pud sila mga bagong mga pier or jetties or greens. The fifth one is the over-extraction of groundwater or oil or gas erosion. This can cause a coastal damage because of excessive removal of groundwater or oil or gas from the ocean. And because of it, pwede mag-collapse ang isa ka coast. And then, it can affect, it can increase the possibility of flooding and also the saltwater intrusion. Like, ang atong, syempre magkatkatin na. So, the saltwater will go to the freshwater and then makontaminate ditong mga freshwater na giadtuan sa saltwater. The sixth one is the coastal agriculture and aquaculture erosion. It is the intensive farming and agriculture. If we talk about aquaculture practices, for example, kana mga shrimp farming. For example, sa agriculture, mangrove clearance sila for farming. Syempre ang mangrove kana mao man gid na ang magtanom kag mga mangrove trees. That is the trees nga naga-protect sa naga-hold sa water to prevent tsunamis. It can also because of mangrove clearance for farming, and also the overuse of fertilizer and the pesticides. The seventh one is the tourism and recreation erosion, or kanang mag-renovate sila, beach nourishment. Because of it, because of coastal development for tourism, it can damage the coast because of a unmanaged tourism or recreation. Syempre, there are daghan kay mga procedures before ma-create ang isa ka beach. So expected na gyud na nga there are a lot of damage nga makuha gikan sa mga human activities, and that can create a coastal erosion. There are also other causes of coastal erosion. The example of it is coastal subsidence erosion, or the sediment compaction, or the tectonic activity. Ang kuan ani is kanang mag-sink gud ang isa ka land. It is a sinking of a coastal land due to the natural or human-induced factors. Nga ang effect ani is mag-collapse siya. Yes. And the second one is the erosion due to invasive species. Kanang for example kanang di ba pag mga makuan ng mga invasive species kanang madaghan ang isa ka kuan sa isa ka lugar, tapos mawala na tong mga native species, and then ang population nila magdaghan, so kanang magka-land erosion gina, di ba? So because of invasive species, it can cause a coastal damage caused by non-native species that will alter our ecosystem. The third one is the coastal erosion from marine infrastructure. Like kanang it is a human-made or marine structure, like kanang mag-build sila seawall. I have already mentioned it earlier. Seawall construction, and then coastal defenses. Naga-create siya or naga-increase siya of reflection and erosion. And the fourth one is the coastal erosion from shipwrecks and marine debris. It is a coastal damage caused by abandoned kanang mga naabandona na go na mga vessels and mga marine waste. Kanang marine debris kanang mga plastic pollution, kanang mga abandoned fishing gear, kanang mga shipwreck debris, kanang oil and chemical spills nga sa isa ka ship, and also the microplastics. Move on to the climate change related causes. So one of the climate change is the mga greenhouse effect or kanang mga climate change. The first one is the rising of sea levels that can cause a erosion. For example, mag rise ang isa ka kanang mudako ang kuan sa dagat. So we are expected na gid na nga ma-damage because mag-damage ang isa ka coast because of rising of the sea level. And the second one is the increased storm intensity and frequency erosion. Because of the climate-driven storms, kanang mga unexpected na mga climate change, kanang for example, mag-rise ang dagat. So, mag-rise ang dagat because of climate change. So, it can increase the intensity or frequency of erosion. For example, kanang storm. And also, it can damage our coast. Syempre, it can damage our coast. Next one is the ocean acidification and coastal dissolving. Did you know na kanang for example, magbula-bula ang dagat. It's because of the acid nga na dissolve dara. Because of it can create a coastal damage by increasing the ocean acidity because of absorption of CO2 from the atmosphere and the chemical reaction reducing pH levels. Unya, pag ganini kanang ocean acidification and coastal dissolving, it can cause a shellfish decline, coral bleaching and dissolution because of greenhouse gas emissions and also the water pollution. The fourth one is the changes in wave patterns and coastal currents. So for example, ato ang ikuan ang isa ka sea, ato ang erosion nato, kanang katkata nato. So maano na gina nga ma-change ang wave patterns niya, kanang kung asa siya mo adto kung asa ang wave mo paari anakon. Because of the climate change the climate change, it can drive or it can shift the ocean waves and currents, causing coastal erosion. And the last one is the increase of coastal flooding and erosion. If ever mag-rise ang sea level and then mag-intense ang isa ka storm, then it can cause a coastal damage. The last one is the regional specific causes. The first one is the Arctic coastal erosion or the permafrost thaw or the sea ice loss. If we talk about permafrost thaw, it is the melting of frozen ground due to the high temperature. Mamelt siya because of high temperature, which has been frozen for at least 2 consecutive years. For example, frozen ice na siya. Unya mo kalit lang siya og melt after 2 consecutive years. So ang cause ana kay ma-increase ang landslide risk and also erosion. The second one is the tropical coastal erosion or the coral reef degradation or the mangrove deforestation. I have already nakuan na nako siya earlier, na mention na nako siya earlier. It is a losses of coastal protection and shoreline stability, degradation of coral reefs and mangroves, causing coastal damage or coastal erosion in tropical regions due to the ecosystem degradation. And the last one is the coastal erosion in delta region. or the sediment starvation, or the dam construction. Ang example ani is katong sa Ganges Brahmaputra Delta gud sa India, tapos sa Bangladesh, and also sa katong Mekong Delta sa Vietnam and Cambodia. It is the degradation of deltaic coastline due to the sediment starvation and also to the sea level rise. So that's all. Thank you.